Hey, this is 30-06 John. On today, what we're going to be working on is new powder for reloading 308. Once again, the great ammo and powder shortage of 2021 here is kicking in. Usually I use Winchester 748 for my 308. Today and actually the next couple days I'm going to be using IMR 4166. This powder I found available around town, pretty common. It's a new powder, been out 4 or 5 years, 6 years, but a lot of people don't know how to use it. I was able to get a fair amount of it, 5 or 6 pounds, so I'm going to try it in a 308. It says here it's good for 204 Ruger, 223 Remington, 308 Winchester, 30-30, 6.5 Creedmoor. It's sort of similar to Varget and IMR 4064. The rifle I'm going to be using is a Ruger Scout rifle in 308. I don't have a scout scope on it. I have a Leupold VX 1-6. I've had this rifle for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. I've shot a few black-tailed deer with it. It's been a good rifle. Anyhow, let's see how this new powder works. Alright, let's get started here reloading some 308. So, I'm going to be using this little single-stage Lee press. Have a Lyman digital scale right here. Got an old RCBS powder trickler. Going to use some Hornady one-shot lubrication to lube the case when resizing. Have a set of Hornady 2-die 308 Winchester die set. For components, we're using IMR 4166 powder, Sierra 150 grain Pro Hunter bullets, 308 caliber, and we're using CCI large rifle primers, number 200. So let's get started. Also, what we need to know is our load data. So our load data, we are using the brand new Hornady Annual Reloading Magazine 2021. If you just go to the Reloading 308 Winchester section, the closest bullet to our bullet is a 150 grain Nosler ballistic tip. It shows here for IMR 4166. You start at 43.0 grains. You go up to 48.0 grains of powder. That's a compressed load. They are using Winchester cases. We're using Spear cases, and they don't hold quite as much powder, so we're going to start, we won't hit the max load of 48. We'll stop a couple grains before that. Alright, the first thing we have to do is lubricate our cases. So these cases we're using here from Spear, these are nickel plated cases. So just stand them up here, and you need some lubrication on them. Hit them with this. I use the Hornady one-shot lubrication. It's a spray. 308 doesn't need, as a whole, it doesn't require much lubrication, but you still have to. It's better to over lubricate than lubricate not enough. You don't want the case getting stuck inside the resizing die. And just let it sit there for a minute. Okay, after case is lubricated for a while, or sit there, let the lubrication spread. Get your correct shell holder. Stick it in there. Your resizing die, once again, has the decapping pin at the end. Screw it until it just hits the top of the shell holder. Once it's in, stick it in. Stick it out. As opposed to pistol cases, bottleneck cases take quite a bit more effort. This is where you want to make sure your press is bolted onto a solid bench or table. Once again, once it's decapped there, see that the hole's empty there. After you got all your cases deprimed, next thing I like to do is get a rag, put a little bit of lighter fluid on it, and just wipe the cases of the resizing lubrication off of it. And then just stick them in a bullet tray. Let them sit there for a little bit, let the lighter fluid dry off a little bit, evaporate off. Now some people, and I do it also, they like to clean the primer pockets. What you need to use that is this little tool here. One side is for large primer pockets, the other side is for small primer pockets. Just grab the case, get the size appropriate, 308's large primer pockets, just stick it in there, and you just get a little bit of ash residue out of it. So before it wasn't quite as clean. Let's see, that clean, yeah, you can see. It doesn't clean out all of it, but you can tell that it gets a majority of the ash out of it. Once again, the ash isn't really that big of a deal. It is nice to get it out. Cleaner pocket, doesn't have to be shiny clean. Just get the majority of the ash out of there. Another thing I like to do is like to clean my the case mouth with a little deburring tool. This tool here, you just wipe it on the inside of the case, gets rid of any sharp burrs, makes seating the bullets a little bit easier. You don't have to do a lot, just 1 or 2 little turns like that, one turn outside, get rid of sharp edges. When you seat the bullet will seat in a lot easier once you do that. You can feel it taking the rough edges off. You just take the outside. That's all you need to do right there. There's big fancy tools that you could buy to do this, but the hand tool, pretty simple, not too expensive, works pretty good. If you're doing a lot of cases, it sort of gets old, but if you just want minimal expenses, it works pretty nice. Okay, for priming, once again, we're going to use this Lee Auto Prime hand tool. Just grab a couple primers. We'll do one right now. Put that in there. Grab a case, stick in the shell holder, get the right shell holder for it. Stick it in, fill its seat, pull it out. Primer should be just below flush of the case once. You can just fill it there, just below flush there. Alright, now we got the cases primed. Have to start putting some powder. Grab your powder. Put in a cup. Put a little bit of trickler. Per the load data, we're going to start out at 43 grains of IMR 4166. This is the start load. So our electronic scale is already calibrated, just waiting for us. We'll start with this spoon size and see how much we get here. Probably going to be a little bit over. Oh, 42.9. 43. We'll just give a little trickle here. Oh, staying at 43. Looks good. So grab a primed case. Grab a powder funnel. Pour the powder in. Stick in the shell holder. Now we still have the wrong die in here. So we take out the decapping die. Put in the other die, which is the seating die. Just screw it in. What you want to do is seat the bullet. Put the bullet on top of the case. Now I want an overall length of 2.80 inches. So I have a caliper. Set it to 2.8 inches. And every so often just put the case there, and I'm sorry, that's 1.8. 2.8 till it just seats. You just keep slowly putting it in. Okay, just a little bit more. Oh, just a tad more. Quarter turn. Yep, just goes through there. So it's set to 2.8 inches. Now you got it. Now this is fixed. This is set. Now you can charge the rest of yours, weigh them on the scale, pour the powder in the cases, and seat a bullet on it. Yep, looks good. Okay, I'll finish up loading a bunch more. What I do is I load in half-grain increments. Then I try to find the load that has the tightest group. Let's see how it works out. how that does. Alright, here's the targets from our shooting. We started at 43 grains and worked our way up to 45.5 grains of powder. There's the 43 grains. Not too good. Here's 43.5 grains. Sort of like that. That's a pretty tight group, 3-shot group. Now I had some fouling shots here. Those are the first 2 shots, but the 43 or 44 grains of powder was pretty accurate. This small group right here, that's actually 3 shots. That's a double hole right there. And then the next target, there's 44.5. There's some more fouling shots there. I did this over 2 days. So this is a 2.5 inch group. That's not too good. 45 grains of IMR 4166, 2 1/4. That's barely average, barely acceptable. And 45.5 grains of IMR 4166, 2 1/4 inches. That's barely acceptable there also. I'll put this in a little chart spreadsheet so everyone could look at it here. So these are 308 Winchester reloads using 150 grain Sierra Pro Hunter bullet, Spear cases, CCI 200 primers, cartridge overall length, that's with the bullet seated in it, is 2.80 inches. We are using IMR 4166 powder. You can see as the charge weight goes up in half grain increments, we hit that sweet spot there at 43.5 to 44.0 grains. Then after that, the group size increased. I will shoot this again. Probably use between the two 43.5 and 44, probably like 43.8 grains. Just verify that the group stays under 1 inch. These are 3-shot groups, 3/4 of an inch at 100 yards, 0.6 inches at 100 yards. That's pretty good for this particular rifle. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed this, and if you see some powder you're not familiar with using it, just also takes a little bit of work, and you find out where the sweet spot is, and it's a very usable load. Everyone, hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.